Okay, so this is a video where we are going to discuss very interesting things about creative writing, and I have Dr. Prashansa here with me. तो प्रशंसा थोड़ी थोड़ी हिंदी भी बोल लेंगे बीच में नहीं तो
बिल्कुल,
है ना तो
no
प्रशंसा
problem.
हाँ प्रशंसा एंड आई studied our hospital administration together in Hyderabad. Prashansa is right now connecting from Dubai, and she is a medical graduate and a hospital administration postgraduate. And we really didn't connect much earlier in our college days, but I
Yes,
yes, but
yes.
when we evolve, when we become more mature, then we reevaluate our relationships. This is what I have learned in so
That's
many
what
years.
everyone does. Yes,
Then
yes.
we come to know, okay, probably I could have connected there better. So,
But I never stayed actually. When we were in ASCII,
hmm,
the thing was I having a kid doing
hmm,
studies.
hmm.
It was like reaching to college, coming back
Yeah,
home
we were all hostelites and you were the localite. So you used to
with the
come
family.
with the family. Ah, yeah, I know, yeah. So great, so many years have passed, and as we are on different journeys, and I am very much interested in understanding how art is helping people to heal because through my study of art therapy and my practice of art therapy in the field of psychospiritual healing. So I thought you will be a very apt person to bring on, into this discussion, to have this discussion with, because you are right now going through your own journey of creative writing. You have started your blog where you're writing very interesting women centric stories, and I have really enjoyed that side of yours, which I never knew. So I always think that art has this way of, bringing out such deep personality and such deep impressions out of a person's personality, which we cannot judge, or we cannot never know the depth of their
That's true.
personality. So just tell me about your this journey of creative writing, and how is it going, and how are you feeling about it, and what you're up to nowadays.
So I used to write even in my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to write in Hindi earlier, and I used to read a lot. I'm an avid reader who still with having lot of responsibility of my family. I still read 4 or 5 books in a month, and all different kind. But and reading books is healing for me
Mm.
because I want to have some time which is like you you lose connection with the environment, with your surroundings, with the atmosphere, and you find yourself somewhere. And slowly I realized that i I have started developing some characters.
Hmm.
uh, like you said, yet you don't know many sides of me, so every
Hmm.
person has many sides which you don't
Hmm.
know, even that person also doesn't know. So I have many faces which I am
Hmm.
also exploring.
So
So
true. Hmm.
this yeah so this gave me throughout my life, I have been reading and thinking about writing,
Hmm.
but never gave a serious thought,
Hmm.
never gave it a serious thought that I should start writing. I have so many stories left half written. Like I would
Hmm.
start writing and I never use laptop actually. I was
Hmm.
a pen and paper person. So I would write something in my diary and then forget all about it. And then restart and the character will change its face and shapes, and I will find something new and interesting to write. And so I was kind of a reckless writer who would not complete anything. But then I started writing again
These
last
are
year.
your birds. You have parrots.
Yes,
Oh wow. Hmm.
I have two budgies.
Hmm.
So I have last year I started writing, and then and there was a movie on it, what I was writing. So I thought, what
Hmm.
happened? I did not
Yeah.
copy
That
it, but
yeah.
somebody had already written it.
You
So I
tapped,
thought, okay.
yeah, you tapped into the collective unconscious. Yes.
So
Especially, yeah.
so
Hmm.
So when I then I thought, okay, then if there is a movie on it, there would be many more stories about it.
Yes.
So let me make it quick.
Hmm.
So let me write short stories.
Hmm.
I want to say something, and I want to say it quick. And meanwhile, I will learn the process of
Hmm.
developing a character, because a novel is many short stories merged together, reaching to a conclusion altogether.
Hmm.
So started writing short stories. Took a course in creative writing.
Hmm.
Um, uh, and find that I find happiness. I really like writing, because when I write, I surprise myself that I have
Hmm.
written this.
Hmm. Even you surprised
So
me. I
sometimes
mean,
it's
I was surprised. I know.
okay. So I myself get surprised that okay.
Hmm.
So the moment comes, and sometimes it happens like everyone is asleep and I have
Hmm.
to write.
Hmm.
So, and I'm not satisfied in typing in the notes of my phone. So I would get up, finish the story, rough draft somewhere.
Hmm.
Then in the morning again, I will finish it, give it a shape,
Hmm.
correct my mistakes. And it gives me a purpose that I have achieved something and I have done something for myself.
Hmm.
And it is like meditation. It is like
Yes.
meditation to me. Losing yourself, forgetting everything about everyone else, and remembering only that there is a character who needs to be written.
Hmm.
So that heals me actually.
Hmm. Yeah,
That gives me peace.
what you said about a moving coming out about a story that you were writing is so interesting because uh, if I look at it at uh, your intuitive and your spiritual connection with the collective has elevated to such a level where the art where we are able to understand or tap unconsciously into what is happening around us and uh,
Yeah,
like cinema is a reflection of the society. So whatever comes up ha- is has come from some creative mind, and ultimately the
right.
your intuition, my intuition, that person's intuition, everyone's intuition source is one, that is the divinity. So somehow that gives a connection, a spiritual connection, a divine connection, among the creative people, artists who are creating art. That's very interesting. So about so you have written like so many stories. Now let us pick one of those which you would like to share with us today, and go through any one of your story, and then we can build upon that and discuss.
Sure. I would like to
Mhm.
share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can read it
This
through.
story.
Yeah, yeah, share it, not a
Mhm.
mm. You can share your blog so that everyone can see.
Okay. So I really don't know how to share.
You there are these just a second. There is this symbol of present now.
Aha.
No?
Right. Right.
There.
Okay.
Hmm. And then just press on the whatever page you have opened.
Can you see it, Kunji?
Yes, I can. Yes. Yes.
So this is, yeah, this
Hmm.
story is again was a surprise to me when I wrote it.
Hmm.
Uh, I found in the beginning when I shaped it, it was a bit controversial,
Hmm.
but I kind of not was not able to find the to give a correct message. I don't want people to uh,
Okay, by the way, it's
misinterpret
it's
the
raining.
story.
It's raining here, so you might hear the rain sound. Okay. Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
wow! It never rains in
yeah, in
Dubai,
Dubai it
actually.
never rains, and in Hyderabad it rains too much. Yeah.
Okay, so send some of your blessings here, because I know that there are two things which I connect with the nature very much.
Hmm.
Is One is the sunshine, and other thing is rain, which I really think that they are divine
Yeah,
blessings.
send you.
If
We
you
can
don't
send rains
have
to
those, then you have.
rains to desert to to Dubai. Okay. Hmm.
Yes. So, do you want me to read
Yeah,
it,
please,
Gunjan?
please, please start. Huh?
Okay, so this story I had put a title, "Stole of Desires." Um, it's like you all understand that every desire has to be paid. It's like a loan. If you wanted to fulfill it, you have to pay something for it,
Hmm.
and that's what I believe. Even in this world, if you want something from the universe, you will have to give back. So what goes back comes around.
Comes. Hmm.
Uh, or whatever comes to you has to go back. In both ways it is. So I'll start reading it now.
Yeah.
Shilpi was smiling at a reflection in the mirror. She had wrapped herself in a sari, a dark shade of red with a silver border. The color returned on her soft cheeks, and she felt like a bride again. She couldn't recognize herself. With a simple touch of lipstick and kohl, the glow on her face was exceptional. She looked more like a diva out to conquer the world. For a week, her mother in law had been talking about a mystique and his supernatural powers, and who, after pursuing along, had agreed to perform a yagna for their family. She had never believed that a person could hold certain power over others unless he was crafty and had other means of knowing things. But her husband insisted on her accompanying his mother and attending the ritual on his behalf. Shilpi asked for more details about the ascetic and tried to find the truth behind his mystical power on the internet. There was a lot of positive feedback about him given by many people. She saw a video of him in which he was answering the queries of his followers. His calm and soothing voice made her interested in him. In another video, a follower spoke about the strict discipline and practice of renunciation followed by him and his disciples, a reason behind his celestial powers. Surprisingly, not a single controversial thing about him was available on the internet. Maybe he was a true sage, so she agreed to accompany her husband's mother. The inner chamber of the temple was vibrating with holy chants. The fragrance of flowers offered to the deity filled her senses and left her overwhelmed. Amid this illusion, she did not hear his footsteps and suddenly found herself looking at him. He wore a white kurta, and a saffron colored dhoti was wrapped around his waist. Not a single piece of jewelry was visible on his body. Amid his black eyebrows, a sandal tilak adorned his broad forehead, giving him a godlike appearance. She stared at him incredulously. His mere presence made her spellbound. His enchanting eyes held her with magnetic power, and she remained like a statue before him. Kunjan, do you think it's fast?
No,
Am I
no,
going really
no,
fast,
no.
or
It's perfectly fine. Please
do you
continue.
want to read further?
No, no. You read the entire story. I'm loving it in your voice.
All right.
Hmm.
The ascetic had the knowledge of ritual her mother in law had asked him to perform to grant them boons. The Vedic regime was an arduous task requiring a lot of sacrifices in the holy fire. Most importantly, it required a pious man to perform the ceremony. He sat on one side of the sacred fire and gestured to them to sit on the other side. He started chanting verses in Sanskrit and offered materials to the deity with each verse. The effect was magical, as if he was conspiring with the universal energies, summoning the divine power to bless them, imploring them with his intriguing mantras. It continued for 3 hours, and then he gave rest to his voice, closed his eyes, and thought for a minute. When he opened them, his heavenly eyes penetrated her soul. She parted her lips to say something but bit them hard. She was stunned by his vigor. The cosmos is smiling at both of you. You would get the blessing of the universe through this yagna. It holds the power to change your fate. But I do not advise you to get lured by it and ask for any material thing. Every worldly charm vanishes with time. I must warn you, nothing comes for free in this materialistic world. Each wish has a cost, higher or less. It depends, and you must repay it. The yogi spoke in earnest, slightly elated by his hold over them. O Guru, we do not want many things, if only it can give us a wish each, replied her mother in law in a humble voice. Her head was bent, and she couldn't see that Shilpi was gawking at the yogi, fascinated by his charm, trying hard to control the overpowering flood of impulses. They sat before the sacred fire. His chanting and offering continued for 3 more hours. When it neared its end, he asked them to think of a wish in their mind and offer it to Didi. She knew her mother in law would ask for a grandson, her only unfulfilled want, but Shilpi yearned for money. Not a lot like a lottery, but a consistent income. Her husband was in a business which was at a loss. She wanted him to leave it and do a job instead. She offered this longing to the fire. Unbeknown to them, the pious men too developed a craving, a trial by destiny itself, a desire to cherish her full lips, hold her in his arms, and own her for some moments. 3 of them conspired with divinity and got their wishes fulfilled. They ate together after the day long fast. Yogi ate with them like one of them. After nourishing their body, the soul demanded sustenance. Her mother in law took shelter in her room to sleep, while Shilpi, unresisted by her burning, went to him and soothed her soul. They returned home and assumed their fate was traded for better. Within a week, her husband recovered some of the losses in the business and pulled out for it for good. He also accepted an offer to join a big corporate company as a consultant. Shilpi was ecstatic. She danced in glee. The universe had delivered her wish. One day, while cooking in the kitchen, she felt dizzy and sat down, holding her head, trying to catch her breath. Nausea was hitting her hard, making her giddy. She guessed what it was. A chill went through her spine, understanding well whose it was. Should she go ahead and accept fate or accept her mistake? With a knowing smile on her face, her mother in law came near her and hugged her with affection. She congratulated her and the mistake for making it possible. Shilpi trusted God, took a leap of faith, and welcomed the child into the world. Ignorant of the future, they rejoiced in their fortune and thought of it everlasting. Their wishes had come true. And why not? The yogi was a righteous man with the divine powers. Alas, he did not remain the same after fulfilling his wistful desires. His lips stopped uttering sacred verses after drinking the nectar of his need. His guilt did not find peace in any ritual, and he became silent, more like a mute spectator of the world, a helpless man without the celestial powers. The child born to Shilpi was fragile with a weak heart. He needed multiple surgeries at each milestone. The consistent income was spent on his treatment and care. Her husband had to work more to bear the expenses, leaving her alone at home. Shilpi was left wondering about their trade with the fate that had left them to endure trials and tribulations, and they were bound to pay the toll of their desires. That's it.
You know, you can clap up to 50 times. Beautiful.
That's
That's
what I just write it.
so this was your first story or
No, it
on the
wasn't
blog?
the first
Oh, okay,
one.
but quite a controversial one. Very interesting. So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
because I
hmm,
was a yes. Now
please,
you
please.
understand me
Yeah, yeah.
because we all believe in the rituals, and I am
Hmm.
a spiritual person, and um, I do believe in God and His powers, but but in this story, I try to give the message that um, every desire, if you want, because this world, I believe this world is made by divinity,
Mm,
and if you want something, whatever material thing, you would have to give back. And that was the only message I wanted to share, but I did not want people to misinterpret this, uh, which is easily possible for people
mm.
to misinterpret.
Yeah, and like you said, I truly believe in that this world has been created by divine, and looking down at any one should know how to navigate the energies, how to navigate their desires, how to properly dovetail them or direct them towards the spiritual service. So yeah, I found it very interesting how it correlates with the deep spiritual philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism that I follow. And it's interesting how a very different look to a same message can be given, and just with a change of perspective, how it just comes out with a very different flavor. So, what kind of personal healing? I mean, yes, story writing, as you said, it brings a kind of a personal healing. But what is your process of writing? How do you connect with the character? How do you write it down? Because I feel every creative person has a kind of a method of, their writing. And since you are also have been trained into technically how to write and all that, so if you want to share something about that.
So the technical things I have learned, but before everything, the characters come to me actually. They speak to me that they
Hmm.
want to be written,
Hmm.
and then I get the story. So, and there is always an ending first,
Hmm.
because I search with the characters what should be the ending, and when I'm yet to write a big thing, but this is just a process what I follow, that when something, and I am a very good observer. So
Hmm.
if you leave me somewhere, airport, flight, or a garden or cinema, I observe people. I see them and I guess about them. Um, I sometimes eavesdrop them.
Hmm. Hmm.
I hear, I sense them, that,
Hmm.
and I perceive them. If a mother is scolding
Hmm.
a child, I guess that why she must be doing that. Or if there is a couple sitting in a dinner, sitting for a dinner, and still engrossed in with their phones, I keep guessing. So I am an observer, and I'm very curious person who would want to know why.
Hmm.
And sometimes, when because I would not be able to know everything, so I guess and I revolve a story around it.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's what I do.
Hmm. Wonderful, fascinating. Yeah, and I know you are a very spiritual person. Your connection with divinity, I have understood. Uh, I have got a sense of it. The seva that you do and all the mantra chanting, and that's very wonderful. And it somehow gives us that energy to to bring out that creative, to connect with that creativity within us, and to channel it in in a practical manner, to bring it out in way of our emotions, our own healing. And because I believe that spirituality, a big part of spirituality is healing. Ultimately we are healing from the material, uh, or the uh, or you can say different kind of desires which have to be somehow worked around, and we have to move to a next level of growth or ascension. So anything else that you would like to share before I just wanted to really shuffle some cards and see what energies are we navigating through right now. Anything else
No,
that you
you
would?
can.
Yeah. So
No, not.
this so it was fun, reading your story and discussing all this, and I really like the character. She is I mean, it's very difficult to define, you know. I mean, you can just enjoy a story and rather than analyzing it a lot, just leave it there with a sentence, and then that does the justice with the story.
So that's attractiveness of short story, that it gives you something to think for,
Hmm.
and it makes you it moves you, like it gives you some emotions, uh, uh, and it doesn't take time to read. Uh, but it's really difficult, to write a short story,
Hmm.
because you have to do everything in so many in limited number of words,
Hmm.
uh, and you have to create the ambience, you have to create the character, you have to give it the beginning and the middle and the end. So it has to be, and you know what, you can add masala to a short story and still
Yeah.
make it a big novel.
Hmm.
You can run 3 4 stories, merge them, and still make it a novel. So
Yeah, that's true.
writing,
Hopefully, one day you will make a book out of your stories.
I'm
Okay, and
thinking of it.
what is how can people reach to your blog? I will give a link below the video, but still, if you can share the name of the blog.
uh, my blog is available on Medium, and
Okay.
I don't think so people can search me,
Okay.
because I am yet to have 100 followers. People
Okay.
who are
Hmm.
less than 100 followers, who have like, they are not to be searched. So if you search
So,
me, you will not find
so,
me.
so, so those who are listening here are friends and followers. Please join Prashansa's blog, so,
Please follow me.
so
Please
that
follow me.
we can encourage her to write more, and we can listen to her stories, read her stories, and you know. So great. So the card that came out is the card of victory and success.
Oh wow.
Wow. So a
Okay.
message for you, Prashansa. Good news is on the way. The qualities of
Mm-hmm.
this positive card are completion, victory, and success that often follow a difficult period. Many people around you are very proud to see you, how you triumphantly came through it. They respect you
Yes.
and may even attempt to follow your example. You have worked hard and devoted much effort to get to this point in your life where you have become wiser, you have grown in so many ways. Always remember to stop and pat yourself on the back. You deserve it. This card also reminds you to stay grounded, remember where you come from, and keep your ego in check. Don't lose who you really are. This victory can be used as a teaching tool for the future. Realize that if you came through this challenging time, you can achieve anything. So it's for all of us. I mean, it has
Thank
specific.
you, Gunjan. Much
It is
obliged. Yeah.
specifically for Prashansa, but it is obviously for all of us. And before leaving, just one spiritual card from my favorite deck, which is the Bhagavad Gita deck. It has a beautiful imagery and it has Bhagavad Gita shlokas. So, you know, I would love to end this with a spiritual message, which, you know, anything that we can ponder upon and close this video before we leave. Okay. So we have the card of seeing God and we have Krishna here.
Hmm.
Okay.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Those who see me, Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, verse 30, those who see me in all things, oh my God, weren't we discussing about this? Those who see
Yes.
me in all things
All
and
things.
see all things in me are never lost to me, nor am I ever lost to them. See, this is how divinity flows through all of us.
Really,
This, I
really.
mean, we were just talking about this theme of how uh, we see, you know, everything is energy of God and we need to understand how to
Yes,
navigate
yes.
it. So thank you so much, Prashansa. And
Thanks. Thank you, Gunjan, for giving me this opportunity.
I mean,
Yeah. Thank
I'm not some very big social media. I don't have a very big
you. No,
social media presence,
nobody.
but hopefully people who will. what I believe is quality is more important than quantity. Those who will be really inspired or will be attracted towards the message that we are sharing here will reach us somehow or the other, and we will look forward to making more videos together. I really loved this session. Okay.
Me too.
Okay,
Yeah,
so just don't cut the call. I'll stop the recording and then we can talk. Okay.
sure.